But today is Wednesday, August 1st. It is the first day of the month, and today was a very slow day. But we are in Power Hour, and we finally saw that rip that we were waiting for. Nothing went down for the first, 4 or 5 hours of the day. And finally, we got NSYS on a nice pop. So let's go over this play. Let's talk about this play, and let's actually talk about my morning play as well since we're here. I took 2 trades today. I have NSYS, which I just won on. I made $866, and I had RXII that I took a loss on. RXII this morning, again, I was going for this morning rip and looking for that play. So let's go over RXII first, and let's just dive into this. Why did I take this trade? What happened on this trade? I took a $58 loss. Now, obviously, a $58 loss is not anything that's too concerning, but at the same time, let's talk about where this went wrong. So RXII, this morning, it came out with a press release right here stating that it announces positive results from its phase 1 and phase 2 data. That's awesome. We love that. Positive results, we always, think that's a great start. Phase 1, all right. Phase 2, better. That's good. So a lot of hype came towards this play. It also, the press release came out at 9:25. So with the press release coming out at 9:25, guess what? There wasn't a lot of activity in pre-market because the market's about to open on up. So again, a lot of times you see a stock come out with a press release at 8 o'clock or 8:30. And then what happens? People play it, they dump it, it rises, it falls. It doesn't, it already does a lot of its move. When a stock, comes out at 9:25, it only has 5 minutes to move a little bit up or down, depending on what the press release is. And that's why right here on RXII, let me switch to a different time frame right here so you guys can see it a little better. We can see we did get a very quick rip, and that momentum just carried out right away. So again, a lot of people are buying this right at the start because of the plain fact it's a brand new press release where a lot of traders didn't have a lot of time to react to it. So RXII this morning had a good positive press release that came out at a very good time, 9:25, where a lot of pre-market traders couldn't get involved. And what happened? It went on a nice rip up to 230. Okay, cool. So this went on a nice rip up to 230. I didn't want to chase the stock all the way up to 230. So what started happening? I was looking now for a trend line and a possible ascending triangle pattern right here. So we have 2 different options that are going to be looking for. If you're on the bullish side, you're looking for this pattern where you're going to, if we scroll this back right here, we are looking for right here, this breakout. And this is ultimately what I was looking for, this breakout right here. And you can see the ascending triangle pattern being squeezed. Or again, how else can you think about this? If you want to get rid of this top resistance line, you can just put this on a trend line. And you could say, hey, as long as that trend line stays bullish, you're good to go. But the moment that trend line cracks, it's going to turn bearish. So you guys can see bullish here, bearish here. So this stock, again, went on up, try to make a break of 225 right here. And I was actually on this one. I was in on this one, kind of like on a U-shaped pattern. So I got in on this one. It started coming back on down. I was a little fearful. I didn't want to get a hold of play that I thought was going to crash more. So I got out. I got in at 217 and I got out at 212. I took a $58 loss right here on this play. Now, usually I wait for the trend line to crack. Usually I may give it a little bit more time. But at the same time, we're coming off July. The only spike we really saw in July was AWX. And this morning was rather slow again. So I'm saying to myself, hey, you know what? I'm down $58. Let me cut out. Let me move on to something better. So I took a loss on RXII. I was looking for mainly the break of 230. We gave it a little touch. And then all of a sudden we had a big red candle. And I said, whoa, I'm going to get out here before this thing dumps on me. I don't want to lose a lot of money. Stock trading, 50% knowing when to make money and 50% knowing not to basically lose your money. It's like knowing when to trade and knowing when not to trade. That's what you want to know, right? It's basically saying, hey, I know I should trade here. I know I shouldn't trade here. I don't have to wait until I'm down $300 until I say, I should probably get out now. If I'm down $50, things aren't looking good for me. I'm going to get out and move on. So from there wasn't a lot of hype for the rest of the day on anything. There wasn't a lot of potential. Nearly everything was just dead. But we did see NSYS, get a nice little pop. We saw NSYS get a nice little pop this morning, which, put it on people's radar, but it didn't have any news. So we're saying, okay, this is probably some sort of weird little low float pump. And then it had another little pop. And then again, it just started moving sideways, sideways, sideways. Now a pump and dump. When we look at a pump and dump, guys, what do we need to understand? A pump and dump goes straight up and straight back down. It goes up for no reasoning, right? That's what we see about pump and dumps. They go straight up and they come straight back down. And you can see straight up and we could see straight back down. Or we can see, right here is straight up and straight back down. But the fact is that this play it went, sideways throughout the whole entire day, then got a nice little higher low, then, moves a little sideways, then got a little bit of higher low, then moved sideways, and then, started moving on up. So NSYS, this wasn't, any sort of pump and dump right here, because the pump and dump would shoot on up, crash back down. The fact that it was able to consolidate and hold its gains, that it was able to go from 350 up to $4, from $4 up to, again, 480, and then $4, then up towards that 480, and then get a breakout, that shows again that this stock has some sort of strength for some reason. It doesn't have a press release towards it, but it does have strength to it. And that consolidation is holding that play on up. If a stock consolidates, it means it's able to hold its gains. It's moving on up for some sort of reason. So how did I play this stock? How did I get in on this play? Well, again, what I did was I was sitting here, and again, I didn't trade since RXII this morning. I was sitting here and waiting for this play. NSYS popped on up, came back on down. It popped on up, it came back down. Then it popped on up right here, and I was looking more for this area, like this top. Now, this top was right here at 470, okay? So we have our one touch right here, we have our two touch right here, and then we U-shape right here for our third touch right here. Now, I know, as you guys know, because I've taught you guys this multiple times, we always look for the third touch on the breakout, right? We have a one touch, right? That's our top. Then we come on down and U-shape. Then we have our two touch. So we have our one touch. Then we U-shape. And we come on down again. And then this third touch is when we get our breakout. And we can see it happen right here. And we could see it happen like right here. One touch, again, a little two touch, and then a third touch and a breakout. And we have a one touch right here and a two touch and a little third touch breakout. This one's kind of similar. One touch up here, U-shaped two touch. It doesn't really fall all the way down, but kind of bounces around. And then our third touch. So I'm playing a strict channel. And I'm saying to myself, hey guys, today has been rather slow, but it's also the first day of August. Traders are definitely going to be looking for something. And on top of that, guys, what is it? This stock was able to hold its gains. And on top of that, AWX. We saw a lot of just random spikes last week on AWX, right? Like AWX last week, we were seeing a lot of just kind of random rips. I mean, it may take a little bit for me to scroll back. Let me see right here. But we saw a nice, power hour rip right here, where this stock, again, this is a big one. This went from $6 all the way up to $10, starting at $3.10. Again, you can't really see as much right here, but this one in the afternoon went from $4 and ripped all the way up to $5.50. And then this one in the afternoon right here, this went from, again, $3.93 and ripped up to $4.46. We've seen a lot of low float stocks, and even this one in the afternoon, started running $2.30 right here. This one from $2.70 all the way up to $3.30. So I'm saying, hey, a lot of low float stocks have been running in the afternoon, especially like AWX like this. So I'm saying, hey, could NSYS kind of be our new AWX? NSYS able to hold its gains. New start. Traders didn't trade anything in the morning. People are definitely eager to trade. They're definitely looking for the rip and run. So the best entry in my eyes, well, again, the best entry possible would be 344, or the best would be $4 or something like that. Again, where did I get in right here? I got in right as I saw the stock come on up, right when I started seeing the stock move on up right here. And you can see right now, it's still holding its gains. It's still holding its gains, and it start moving on up. So let me bring this over. You guys can see my total. Again, here was NSYS. I had 1,100 shares. My P&L is $886 on the day. And you can see on right here as well, here's my losing trade on RXII. I took a loss of $58. And here's my winning trade on NSYS, where I got in right at the break, right at 466 is where I market ordered in. And then again, I started getting out right at 556, 454, or excuse me, 545, there we go, and 546.